practicing. Good morning. It is wonderful to see all of you here this morning, and I want to congratulate all of you for successfully moving your clocks forward and finding yourselves here on time. I remember one time many years ago when our boys were still young and in RE, and we showed up one morning for church service at 10:30, and it happened to be 11:30. So, congratulations. We know that although this time change is annoying to many of us, it is in fact one significant symbol of the unlocking of winter and of the coming of spring. My name is Don Rakow, and I am delighted to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather today to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. What a delightful way to start our celebration. Trust is our theme for the month of March. Whom do you trust? When things get hard, what processes and institutions do you trust? And who can trust you? We have many activities this week. Please read about them in your order of service or check the sanctuary screens to learn more. If you're new or visiting for the first time, I invite you to fill out one of the yellow pledge pew cards and place it in the offertory plate. You can also drop off that card at the welcome table in the parlor after the service through those doors. This is where we typically have coffee, snacks, and conversation after the service. Before we light our chalice, let's take a moment to greet those around us so that we can all commune more effectively. Today, the chalice will be lit by two of our longest-serving members of the congregation, Norman and Olivia Culver.
Guess you have to be here a long time to have your really cool name tags. Your unique name tags. No, we had a conversation at another time, and that was part of our story was, no, this is from another place, but thank you for that. Good morning. Opening words today to kind of help us settle in. I love the idea that winter is being unlocked. I'm not convinced yet, but Don, I'm gonna go with the plant guy. He knows something. Come, let us gather, though, in this sacred space where trust is not demanded, but nurtured, where we are seen, valued, and held in love. Here we covenant together, not by creed, but by care, rooted in justice, bound by compassion. This morning, as we breathe, sing, and share together, may we feel the steady rhythm of belonging in ourselves, in each other, in this moment together. Come, friends, let us worship together. Emily's going to introduce our hymn.
This is the time where we invite our young volunteers to come up and grab a basket for our Signed with Love collection. And I invite everyone else to rise in body or spirit for hymn number 1008. You can find the words up on the screens behind me. beautiful harmony at the end, friends. Thank you. Good morning. So lovely to be here with you this morning. This is the time when I invite up anyone who is young or young at heart to come on up and join me on the steps. Oh, they say. You know, pull that up. All right, what's that? A measuring cup full of water. I've got some paper towels here just in case. I've got a plastic bag, and I've got some pencils. All right, so we're going to do an experiment here today on our theme of trust. All right, are you ready? Can you pour that water into the bag for me? It's okay. I have paper towels. I'm prepared. It's all right. No worries. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, we're going to pour all the water in as long as it fits. Uh-oh, someone is saying this is not going to go well. All right, I realize I'm holding this in a way that's awkward for me to zip it now. Can you help me grab the bottom or zip the top? Okay. Oh, thank you. Right, we're teamwork up here. All right, let me see if I can get the air out. All right. So this could be you, or it could be a volunteer. Who trusts me to hold this over their head? You want to do it? Okay, you go ahead and sit. All right, friends. So, as part of trust, first of all, we're doing this because as UUs, we believe in science, right? We trust in science. Yeah, that's right. But one of the things that we trust in also is one another. And we trust one another to tell each other the truth. I believe that you are not going to get wet in this experiment, but I'm not sure. Is that okay with you? Okay, great. Right? Part of trust also is communicating with one another honestly. I've done this before, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work exactly the same way that it's worked in the past. All right, are you ready? All right, friends, do you trust that this is going to work? I'm going to stab this bag with this pencil. Are you ready? I've got some more in there. All right, should we keep going? All right. All right, let's do it again. Okay, are you going wet yet? No, all right. That's right, 2 for 2. 2 for 2. You don't actually have to stab it really fast. I've done this before. Are you ready? Stab it, stab it. All right, should we do one more? We're 3 for 3. All right. That was like one tiny little drip. All right, my friends. All right. All right. So, as I said, part of what we believe in here, what we trust, is science. Now, even science experiments like this are not 100% reproducible perfectly every time. So we went into this not knowing if this was going to work exactly the way that we thought it was, right? There could have been a flaw in the bag. Things could have happened. But we had open communication, right, about what the possibilities were, and we trusted one another that we were telling each other the truth. When I said, I don't think that you're going to get wet, but you could, and they said, I consent to this either way. It's leaking a tiny bit. Yeah, now it's leaking a tiny bit. And our friend here took a little bit of a leap of faith, right? That water wasn't going to pour all over them this morning. So as we move through our days together, I'm going to invite all of you in this beautiful broken world that we live in to lean
like to ask Matt Hare to come forward to provide a stewardship minute.
Good morning. I've got a spring in my step, not only because of the sunshine, but because our stewardship campaign is going really well. We have got, well, so that applause is for the 43 households who have pledged already. Thank you so much. More than half of those have increased their pledge, and that's how we're moving that balloon up into the stars. So that is put us at 79,000 towards an ambitious goal of 350,000, which is what we need to maintain the staff and the programming that we all enjoy here, and that leads us forward towards our mission. We've had 6 new households pledging, which is wonderful, and we've got 20 stewards fanning out. Many of you have been contacted, and so those stewards are creating a personal touch in the stewardship this year, meeting with you to talk about what's meaningful about FUSIT to you. If you haven't been contacted by a steward, it's because we can't do it all this year. This is an approach we'll be taking for the next few years, and so sit tight. So thank you, everybody, for your support. We really appreciate it.
And now a stewardship testimonial from Teresa O'Connor.
Testimonial's a big word. Hallelujah, brother, come on down. So I'm Therese, and I was asked to talk about why I pledge and have been pledging for a while. So I started attending this church in 1981. My children attended RE and the OWL program, and I taught in RE for a few years. Back then it was called Religious Ed. Now it's Exploration. I've been on various committees. I've organized the service auction dinner for several years in a row. I've done 2 tours of duty as the board of trustee. I've been in the choir for many years, and so I've been quite involved with the church over the years. In all this involvement, I've worked with some amazingly wonderful people, and I've learned a lot. And I think this is really my blessed church community. And when one is in community, one not only receives, but gives. And so I just want to see this community flourish and grow and be really connected, and that's why I pledge.
And now, Madonna Stallman to provide Joys and Sorrows.
First, I've got to look at this box. It's still not leaking. How is that possible? Magic. Oh, science. Science. It's not magic. Then somebody's going to be able to explain that to me afterwards, right? Okay. In a spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows in our community. We want to share those events that call for our prayers, our support, our praise, and celebration. I had no green slips this morning, and this morning is really kind of nice for me because I have only appreciations to share. Have you all seen our new handcrafted cabinet for the audio-visual equipment at the back of the sanctuary? See all that lovely wood around the AV equipment? No more electric cords and strange stuff up there. It's just this beautiful cabinet. The cabinet was beautifully crafted by fellow congregant Dick Kurtz. Is Dick here this morning? I don't think so.
He's volunteering in Kentucky, I believe.
Volunteering at what?
Kentucky.
In hearts and hands? Well, that's just like him. The peace that he has made will help protect our valuable AV equipment for many years to come. Thank you, Dick, for your beautiful craftsmanship. From John Gaines and the tech team, we all know the quality of work that our music director, Stephanie Ortolano, does for the whole range of the music program at FUSIT. But we would like to acknowledge the behind-the-curtain work that Stephanie has been doing to prepare the slide set that you see on the sanctuary screens every Sunday. Well, and you may not know that she's also been doing this screen work ever since COVID hit on our YouTube stream. I mean, these kind of things happen and we don't even know a lot of times, well, who does that? And this is happening because of this beautiful woman here. Okay, we would like to acknowledge the behind-the-curtain work that Stephanie has been doing to prepare the slide set that you now see on the sanctuary screens every Sunday, and for what she's done since COVID with the YouTube stream. From the tech team, a big thank you to Stephanie. I also have, if I can get my phone to open up, something from Betsy East and Elizabeth. To Rachel and Michelle, a big thank you for all your support and assistance with the event we held in the Annex on March 1st. You all are wonderful. So much fun to do these appreciations. For those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into this community and space of healing and hope, let us now call these names out loud or speak them in our hearts. Marcia. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves today, tomorrow, and beyond. May our hands be outstretched in kindness. Let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be.
We should have added to that list, Madonna. What a blessing you are to our community, Madonna. Talk about behind the scenes. Whenever there's a need for a card or just to check in with someone in our congregation, it is often Madonna. So I think the more we uplift all of what's happening behind the scenes, I think it'll deepen our connection to each other. So I'm grateful. So it's our time of meditation, and I invite all of us, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes, trusting in this time together, or at least averting your glance. And to slow your breath and to become mindful of your breathing in and out. With each inhale, we root ourselves in the presence, deepening our awareness and opening space within. Let us recall that deep breathing taps into the natural wisdom of our bodies, activating its innate ability to restore balance. With each slow, intentional breath, we signal to ourselves that we are safe, easing whatever tension is in our being. This gentle rhythm reminds us that we are not just reactive beings, though needed sometimes, but resilient, capable of grounding ourselves in this moment, opening to connection. By consciously expanding our breath, we are creating more internal space, physically and emotionally, to hold all of what we are holding in our hearts today, including the discomfort, but without feeling overwhelmed by any of it. Spiritually, exhaling symbolizes surrender, letting go of what no longer serves us, making room for clarity, connection. In this way, each breath becomes an act of trust, a quiet affirmation that we are enough in this moment and that we are held. Breathing deeply, we remind ourselves that trust always begins within. It calls us to be present, to listen deeply, and to embrace the vulnerability of opening our hearts, even when certainty seems elusive. Our breath is our anchor, shifting us from fear to calm, from isolation to connection. Our breath moves through us like the vast, unseen web beneath the forest floor, an underground network that nourishes all life. Imagine the silent, sustaining web that holds the strength of generations, the whispers of those who have come before, and the vitality of those working for liberation and healing today. It reminds us that we are never alone. Our flourishing is bound together, each breath carrying the energy of renewal, each step sustained by the unseen threads of collective strength. May this be so.
Each week that we gather, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude to this service and of our ongoing commitment for the support of the work of this church. For those of you watching remotely, instructions will be given using your phone or computer that will appear on your screen during the offertory music. Information below the live stream image will appear on YouTube. For those attending in person, our ushers will now pass the plate. Please join me in saying the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
Cultivating trust as an organizing strategy. Lessons from mycelium mushrooms. And this reading comes from Adaku Uta, a Nigerian 6th generation Igbo traditional healer, speaker, writer, and artist whose work focuses on gender, reproductive, race, youth, and healing justice. Mycelium mushrooms have been one of my greatest teachers of trust. The word mycelium means more than one. The mycelium organism is a dynamic root system of mushrooms that utilizes trust as a mechanism to build and sustain a vast reciprocal underground network that connects the roots of trees and plants and skillfully shares nutrients and resources to support the health of the entire ecosystem with which it moves. This mycelial network cannot exist without trust. The mycelium communication highway recognizes and believes in the collective ability to channel and receive nutrients where needed, protect against parasites, and expand roots into necessary sites of growth. The network process also fosters intergenerational relationships that welcome the myriad of ancient wisdom and connections that reside in older trees to benefit younger trees. These mushrooms affirm a commitment to building relationships of trust that encourage all life to bloom, one that I aspire to embody more and more in my organizing practice. It takes courage to bring our trust forward and invite another person to meet us there. This sometimes sure, often shaky surrender is an opportunity to discover something deeper than the confines of our individual experience, a catalyst to grow beyond ourselves, to find the places where love can exist even when we are unsure of the destination, to embrace a kind of faith brave enough to yield a wider focus, often unseen, with a singular lens.
I knew Kamari would deliver that reading well. Thank you so much. Today I want to expand on that reading. Actually, we could probably just sit with that reading and have an ample nourishment to help us to center ourselves. So think of that as the backdrop to these remarks. I want to explore the dual nature of trust, both within ourselves as we navigate the challenges individually, culturally, and as we cultivate a shared responsibility and being part of community. Trust has never been about having all the answers. It's about believing, though, in our ability to engage meaningfully in the world and with each other. It's about fostering faith that together we can take that leap, move toward compassion and intention. Yet many of us are wrestling with self-doubt. I don't know about you, but especially in these times when challenges seem insurmountable. Trusting ourselves in this time can feel like an uphill battle, and trusting others can feel even harder, particularly when we've experienced collectively so much broken trust and deep betrayal. In the wake of all that is terribly not well in our world, in our nation and in our world, when the world around us, as we know, feels fragmented and unpredictable, it can be difficult to imagine a system where trust can exist and thrive. On a personal level, fear or past trauma or even our natural instinct for self-protection can prevent us from trusting others, even when meaningful opportunities for connection and growth arise. It is instinctive in some ways to pull in when we feel unsafe. This morning, I would like to invite each of us here to reflect internally about our own life stories, on moments where we have felt a sense of agency, of collective agency with others, and even more importantly, to those moments when we have not felt agency, when we have felt perhaps adrift. Speaking from my own experiences, having faced deep fear and economic insecurity as a child, I have noticed how certain voices, especially those that carry echoes of past cruelty, can strike at my most vulnerable inner spaces, exposing the lingering impact of uncertain and unsafe connections. It is hard to trust when those experiences still rule some part of our biology. Perhaps many of you too who now live as adults equally impacted by early in life experiences or even experiences as an adult that inhibit you to feel full agency in confronting the challenges we are now facing together living in this time. I have come to realize that when we can identify, come clean, and meet those wounded parts of ourselves with openness and compassion and honesty, we can resist the impulse to shut down or disconnect. You see, in that owning and opening ourselves to those wounded places that live, I suspect, in all of us to one degree or another, enables us to cultivate an inner resiliency that enables us to be present in this moment. Interpersonal work in that regard is not a luxury, but a means of helping us to be braver adult selves. Trusting ourselves, for sure, requires psychological and spiritual work. It involves recognizing the individual and collective roots of self-doubt. I mentioned in a much earlier sermon, Hope for the Cynic. There are many, many books we can be reading that help us to understand that this is not an individual problem only, but a culture that has led us to feel we can doubt that we can make a difference. It's all about engaging self-exploration, practicing self-compassion when we don't feel strong, when we don't feel able. Being compassionate for others, for whom fragility right now is just part of their picture, and holding them in our care. The act of challenging negative inner talk. Oh my God, here's the therapist, right? All that negative inner chatter. Some days, my mind is a dangerous place to be, as Anne Lamott says. But to honestly be in there strengthens our emotional resilience. This is where our faith tradition offers profound guidance, reminding us that worthiness is not something we need to earn, but something inherent to our being. Not easy, but it is our faith tradition that we are invited to consider each time we gather. Reframing limiting beliefs and adopting practices that affirm our inherent dignity is essential spiritual work. It has to go from here to here. It's about the shifting of the heart as much as the mind. Nurturing hope in uncertain times. When people feel disheartened, restoring trust is not about forcing optimism. It's about planting seeds of possibility and creating space for healing and transformation. There are tangible ways to foster hope in ourselves. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer each other is our presence and the honesty of where we find ourselves. We need to be heard to feel hopeful. By listening with empathy and speaking honestly, we create a space where pain and frustration can be expressed without fear or judgment. Forcing ourselves or others to feel optimistic. And I know we're looking at this audience like, I haven't felt optimistic. But those moments creep in, right? We're like, oh, it'll be okay. Well, there's, of course, incredible dangers. Suppressing legitimate fear, anger, or grief in favor of what we've come to know as forced positivity can lead to emotional burnout, anxiety, and even physical health concerns. The body holds all of our unprocessed emotions, which then becomes chronic stress. When forced optimism crashes against harsh realities, it can result in deep cynicism, the thing we need least right now. If someone expects things to improve by just staying positive, well, it's easy to become disillusioned when immediate change doesn't happen. Overemphasizing individual optimism discourages communal processing of grief, anger, and fear. Emotions that, when acknowledged and processed, can drive meaningful action and connection. Creating spaces for people to speak openly about their grief, their fear, our frustration, our despair is crucial. Trust, like the mycelium network beneath our feet, thrives in connection. When we connect, whether in small, meaningful ways or deeper communal bonds, we remember that we are not alone. Hope grows when we believe in a collective future, even when uncertainty looms. Painting a vision of what is possible allows us to see a way forward. I know, and I suspect many of you, are listening and seeking out credible, heroic voices that can help us right now, especially when we feel unsteady in ourselves. There are so many voices that can speak to us. Could be your neighbor or even the person sitting right next to you this morning, or our many, many larger-than-life brave visionaries. How many of us were so moved when the Right Reverend Marian Edgar Buddy, Episcopal Bishop of Washington, when she implored our president to have mercy upon people in our country who are scared now, especially mentioning gay, lesbian, and transgender children and immigrants seeking refuge. The courage in that moment, in that quiet, gentle, but persistent voice. There are so many visionaries in our midst. Keep listening, seek them out, turn off NPR and listen to other voices, right? Diversify where we're hearing. This is not a knock on NPR, but I can no longer live with just headlines. We know change does not happen all at once, nor is it typically a linear process. I'm sure many of you heard the news story yesterday, remembering Bloody Sunday in Selma, remembering the courage of the late Congressman John Lewis. I feel so grateful that I got to meet him when he came to Cornell many years ago. He had a gentleness that really, it's what stayed with me more than anything else. A resolute voice, gentle, humble, compassionate, infinitely hopeful. He believed in us. With all that he experienced, he believed we could be better. Hope is built through small victories. How he had the courage to become a congressman after that. Through incremental steps. You see, modeling vulnerability and courage gives us the foundation where we can experience trust, which is highly contagious. When we practice vulnerability and humility, and maybe it's not about practice, but leaving ourselves open to it, we create a space where others can feel safe to do the same. That brave Episcopal bishop gave me that feeling. Bravery and trust is contagious. Hope and trust may seem fragile, but they are resilient. Like mycelium, they spread beneath the surface, unseen yet powerful, offering renewal even in places once thought barren. Trusting ourselves and each other is not about certainty. It's about courageously taking that leap, even when the path is unclear. Resiliency, though, is not about avoiding struggle, but believing in our ability to hang tight and persevere. I know this to the core of my being, and I hope you do too, that fear and despair, though powerful, are not permanent, stable spaces. They shift when we engage with them instead of resisting or denying them. Strengthening resilience requires practical strategies, Maybe you know a good number of things that help you to strengthen your inner resilience. Here are ones that I have found particularly helpful to add to your list. The meditation today, for those of you who are serious meditators, know that it is so important to engage in practices that regulate our nervous system. Fear can lock us into survival mode. It does. That's what fear does. And it's needed sometimes, but as a modus operandi for our daily life, it's deadly. It limits our creativity, it limits our problem solving. Engaging in eating, just breathing. I don't know about you, but every time I take a deep breath, I am reminded that I live most days engaged in shallow breathing. I know how to do fear. It's instinctive to my biology. But we have other options. Practices such as breathing, grounding, and vagus nerve activation. I love this, and I know you know Stephanie. This is why she does this with us. Humming and singing and engaging in movement. I know, we're not so great at that as Unitarians. Moving. Thank you to our gospel person here earlier. Praise. It literally physically restores balance. We do this every Sunday intentionally, not just to speak to our minds, but to move our regulatory system to feel more resourceful. Reframing fear and despair. The stories we tell ourselves shape our experience. Shifting our narrative, I can't possibly handle this, to we've handled challenges while also taking inspiration from these voices, these heroic visionary voices that remind us that we need to be in a different frame of mind. Shifting our inner narratives can foster inner strength. And again, when you find yourself not able to do that, be in the company of a compassionate listener that can hold you in that moment of fear and mistrust so that you feel our love and care. Love and care and deep breath with each other can restore all of us. When we shift our focus from fear to purpose, being living attuned to the humanistic values which is our religious heritage, we can rediscover a sense of agency. It happens all the time here. Engaging in meaningful work, supporting others, and staying connected are powerful antidotes to despair. It's tempting to want to withdraw, and sometimes that is the right place. It's a compassionate space, but come back, come back. The journey of trust, this often shaky surrender, invites us into something greater than ourselves. It invites us to release a little bit of that control and embrace the power of interdependence. Not so easy in a culture that valorizes independence, right? Consider the wisdom of the mycelium network. It does not rush. Do you remember that part of the reading? It does not force. It listens. It senses. It moves with intention, responding to the needs of the environment. Trust, too, requires this kind of attunement, a willingness to listen deeply, to sense what's needed, and to move with care. Trust is not blind faith, my friends. It is a cultivated, practiced faith, built over time through consistency, accountability, and love. When we reflect on movements for justice, we often speak of strategy, tactics, and power, but at their core, movements are sustained by trust. Trust in one another, in the vision of moving forward, and in the wisdom of those who came before us. Trust allows movements to weather hardships and setbacks and continue expanding beyond what we can see in the present. Like mycelium, trust is the unseen force that nourishes, protects, and uplifts. It is both the foundation and the future of transformative change. Trusting ourselves means believing that even small actions can create ripples of change. Fear and despair may visit, indeed, probably has been visiting many of us, but they do not have to define us. By engaging in practices that foster resilience, connection, and courage, we can learn to trust over and over again, not only on our own capacity, but the larger web that holds us all. And so we move forward, again and again, not alone, but together, like the mycelium beneath our feet, seeking to spread trust, hope, and renewal, even in the most uncertain times. I have faith in us, don't you? Blessed be.
Please join in our closing hymn, 344, A Promise Through the Ages Rings.
Well done, singers. As usual, I choose hymns for their words, not necessarily if they're easy to sing, but boy, Stephanie holds us even in those moments. As we go forth, my friends, may we remember we are part of something vast, unseen, and deeply connected. Like the roots beneath the forest floor, we are woven together in trust, offering and receiving, strengthening and being strengthened. May we listen to the wisdom that moves through us, honors the relationships that sustain us, and nurture the work of justice with steady hands and open hearts. Even when the path is uncertain, even when the destination is unseen, may we trust in this journey together, trust in one another, and trust in the sacred unfolding of a future that is already taking root. Go in peace, go in love, go in trust.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Let our true service now begin. Thank you for that beautiful music, and may we all hold that in our hearts throughout this day.